I've got a hunch this is going to be a side-scrolling level. Or big parts of it are going to be a side-scrolling level. Yeah, I do vaguely remember this. So it starts off. Ah, if I press jump, he jumps higher on the, bounces higher on the thing. Yes, I thought this was going to be a... This is going to be a side-scrolling level. Come on then, yeah. Yeah, got you. Oh, okay, got both of them then. Slippery, slippery, slippery slope. This is all, I don't know, I think, is it vaguely based on the Aborigines in Australia, on Aborigine culture, or maybe South American, native South Americans? I'm not sure. It's something like that. All the themes are loosely based on that kind of thing. He's a Bandicoot, isn't he? So he's a marsupial, which only show up in Oceania. Or Oceania? Is it Oceania or Oceania? I can't remember. It's not really a continent. It's considered a continent, but it's, I got burned to a cinder. Time not. Can't jump over it. You've got to just wait for it. Let's not get burned alive again. I think those are bouncy platforms as well. Did I find that out in an earlier level? Yes, I did. Thought so. Ah, there you go. Spiky. I don't know what to call it. Spiky logs. Come on, you piranha bastards. It feels like I've got less space than I have when I'm jumping under those. It feels like I've got like no space at all. Ah! What? No! Oh! There you go. Okay, that makes more sense. So, with, I think, with regards to old school style platformers, there were two basic directions that a studio could go in when they wanted to decide what kind of game they wanted to have. So, they had the option of, like, fluid motion with slippery controls, which is the kind of thing that Sonic the Hedgehog is. So it's all momentum based, and the controls are not they're quite slippery, and you don't always have that much control over your character, but it gives that kind of experience of fluidity and a sort of a roller coaster experience. And then there's the other type, which have like sort of really tight controls, and they move a lot slower, but you have much more control of your character, so there's more variety and a higher skill ceiling on what you can. Not higher skill ceiling. There's more you can do with the challenges. So there's a wider variety of platforming challenges that you can put into the game. And whereas like my last series was Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's where I started, because I just love Sonic the Hedgehog so much. Sonic is a fluid game with slick controls and slippery. It's quite slippery a lot of the time. Oh no! 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 How many lives have I got? 25. Okay. I'm a bad person. I'm taking advantage of a quirk of the game, and I'm there you go. There you go. Got it. So the Crash is quite clearly a game with tight controls, and it's quite a slow-paced game. But it means that the platforming challenges that you can have in it are quite... Well, no! It can have more sophisticated... Well, I don't really want to use the word sophisticated, but it can have... I don't want to say a wider variety again. I suppose you can just go with... Oh, dear. That's quite a combo. That's quite a combo. They can make... The platforming challenges can be more difficult because you've got more control of your character, so it makes for a more challenging game, I guess. I was saying this in... I said this a lot in my Let's Play for Sonic Mania, that I feel like the game is too easy a lot of the time. But it would be difficult to make it more difficult without frustrating the player, because the controls don't really allow for it. Ah! Yeah, I knew this was going to happen a lot when I decided to do this game for a Let's Play. So you'll have to just bear with me a moment. So I willfully sacrificed 1 life, and since then I've lost 3 more! Or is it 2? I don't know. I've lost count. It nearly happened again. Right, so, oh, no! That's quite a difficult jump. So the difficulty curve on this game is probably unlike any I've ever seen in any platformer. It really, really is. So when the game first came out on the PlayStation 4, oh, for God's sake! When the game first came out on the PlayStation 4 last year, oh, the game is mocking me. I forgot about that. It's got the noob modifier. Is if you die so many times in a row on a certain bit, it'll start giving you a shield. It'll give you a shield, and no. I understand why they put it in, because it makes the game flow a bit better for players who might not be as good and might not be that bothered about beating really difficult challenges. But I always find the game is mocking me a little bit, because I want to feel as though I have beaten the best that the game has to offer, and if I can only do that with a noob modifier like the shield on this, then I feel like I've sort of let myself down. So I suppose if I get through this bit without losing my shield, then that kind of counts. But at the same time, it takes a lot of the pressure off. So I'm performing under less pressure, and I don't know. It's just a bit of a... Well, I got through it anyway. But we will never know if that's because I felt under less pressure, because I didn't have a shield. Or because I did have a shield. And now I don't have a shield! Because I got through the bit. I got through the area. The noob modifier has been reset. Oh, fire. Fire, it burns! Yeah. You see, with this game, it's already giving me the complex combination of challenges that I would hope for from a Sonic game to make it more difficult, but I also know that I'm not going to get, because the controls are just not set up for it. Or are they? I don't know. Could you do something like... Oh! No. Could you do something like this in a Sonic the Hedgehog game, in a 2D Sonic the Hedgehog game? Would it be possible? The thing is, you've got to wonder if... Would the player get frustrated waiting for the next fluid roller coaster part of the level? I mean, if you look at Sonic 1, there are parts of levels that are like this. In fact, if you look at the Marble Zone and the Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1, there are no roller coaster elements in those levels at all. There's no slick, fluid parts of those levels at all. And those are deemed as the worst levels in the Sonic franchise. And the reason that those levels were in the game in the first place is because Sonic wasn't originally going to be a slick, quick-moving character. That was added in later. And then the levels like the Spring Yard Zone and the Starlight Zone and the Green Hill Zone that have a lot of fluidity to them, those were added in. They were designed around the character. The Marble Zone and the Labyrinth Zone were designed around a less fleshed out character when they didn't really know what they were going to do with Sonic. So those were the reasons that those levels were in there. And then they found out later that... they discovered later that one of the things that makes Sonic great is the motion and the sense of speed. And those levels are just mostly forgotten about. But those are the kind of levels that you find in Crash Bandicoot, in Super Mario, in all sorts of in all sorts of games. I suppose the original Rayman, you could say, has got those kind of levels. The original Rayman had really tight controls. It was only with the later Rayman games that they went for more slick, fluid movement. Like Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends. They go for a more Sonic the Hedgehog kind of feel. Right, I've got to set off now. Yes! I did it! Got my timing just right.